It is a beautiful day here at Reich Field at Otterbein University in Westerville, Ohio, where the Cardinals are getting set to take on the Ohio Northern Polar Bears here for Cardinals softball. David Kinder, along with myself, Harrison Ralph, to bring you all the action from this doubleheader today at Reich Field. To get right into it, we start by taking a look at Christine Steinis, the coach for the Otterbein Cardinals. It is her 7th season with the program. And, she's had a lot of success here. Last year, however, she took a leave of absence. So this is, her first year back after that. And she has had a lot of success here with the Otterbein program, overtaking the program when it wasn't doing all that well, David. And then she was able to kind of turn it around, and they've been very successful over the last few seasons.
Yeah, definitely. They went down for their spring break Florida trip, and they came back north 6-4 on that trip, and right now they're riding a 4-game winning streak after sweeping Kenyon and Case Western. So she really seems to have the team going in the right direction on this year. As we mentioned, 10-6 coming into this one. Still looking for that lucrative first win in OAC play, see if they can get it here today at Reich Field. But looking at the opponent, certainly looks like they can coming into this one. The Polar Bears just 1-9 on the year, so hopefully team started off on a good start. Let's see if they can get that first conference win of the year.
Right, you mentioned it, David. The Polar Bears come in 1-9. Not a very good season. This just 1 year removed from being the OAC regular season champions. After going 31-14, they actually advanced to the NCAA Division III Softball World Series. So Ohio Northern definitely coming down from that high that they were on last season, as they were one of the best teams in the country, and now they're looking at a 1-9 record, and Otterbein's going to try to make that a 1-11 record here today at Reich Field.
Yeah, head coach Kim Burke in her 3rd year won the conference title in her 1st year and last year. They're the reigning champions 2 years in a row, as you said, went to that World Series, but this year they haven't been able to click offensively or defensively, just batting .250 as a team, and their ERA is hovering around 6 as a team. Their only win of the year came to Mississippi College.
So we're going to get started right here as Natalie Zwicker takes the mound for the Cardinals. Up to bat is Miller for Ohio Northern to lead it off. Our first pitch here at Reich Field is taken low for ball 1.
Natalie Zwicker on the year, 2-1 as a starter. She has a 2.56 ERA. She's pitched in 17 innings and has struck out 13 compared to just 2 walks.
And Kristen Miller takes a hack at that one. Comes up empty. It's 1-1. Here for the Polar Bear left fielder. Zwicker delivers, and that one's fouled back. So 1-2 now. Zwicker ahead of Miller. Yeah, the Otterbein Cardinals, David, as you just mentioned, they have done quite well in their last handful of games.
Yeah, as you said, they just came off that sweep of Kenyon that they had yesterday. Before that, they swept Case Western. The bats were really alive yesterday for the Cardinals up there when they went to go play Kenyon. Kayla Woodward was able to knock in 3 RBI, winning the first game 9-5. They won the second leg of that game 12-2.
And Zwicker delivers on the 2-2 count. Soft tapper over to the third base side. Albright has no play, and Miller reaches to begin the game. So Ohio Northern puts their leadoff hitter on base, and that will bring up, and pardon me if I botch this name a few times today, Ashley Suchkowski. That's a tough one.
That's what I would go with, Harrison. That's how I would say it.
The shortstop, number 12, now digs in. Zwicker looking on, getting her sign. And the delivery is a bunt. Now we're to the third base side. Albright fields, throws to first, and they call her safe. Wow, that was a close play over at first base. Elise Brigham, the second baseman, over to cover. But Albright could not get the ball over to first in time, and the runner is safe. So Ohio Northern right out of the gates coming out and giving Otterbein quite the threat here in the top of the first inning. First and second, no outs, and now you're getting into the meat of this Polar Bear order.
Yeah, getting right into the heart of it. You have upcoming next, you have the number 10, McKenzie, who on the year is batting .344. The second highest on the team, has 6 runs batted in, which leads the team in that category.
So we'll see if the number 3 hitter, one of the best hitters probably in this Ohio Northern lineup. We'll see if she's bunting or if the coach is going to let her swing away. Otterbein playing back. She's going to bunt over to third base. All right again. Fields throws to first. Brigham covering. And they're going to get it out there as the ball just beat her over to first base. So sacrifice bunt there from McKenzie. And now the cleanup hitter Sheridan will step into the box. Sheridan playing center field today for the Polar Bears. Second and third, one out. So Ohio Northern with an early threat, 2 runners in scoring position in inning number 1. And Sheridan takes a strike.
Sheridan, the team's leader in batting average this year, batting .400 on the year. Last year, she was the conference rookie of the year, batting a staggering .429, knocked in 18 ribbies and 3 home runs, just a sophomore.
And Kelly Sheridan takes a hack and fouls it back. It's going to bring the count to 0-2, so nice job here by Zwicker getting ahead early in the count, 0-2. See if she can put her away here and keep those Polar Bears stranded. And she's going to fight that one off as she fouls it out of play. Count remains 0-2.
Zwicker, one of the best pitchers on the team when it comes to control. 13 strikeouts this year compared to just 2 bases on balls. She really does know how to find the strike zone and hit it consistently.
Yeah, nice pitch right there, and Zwicker gets the strikeout as Sheridan goes down on strike. So 2 outs, big out right there for the Cardinals. And the Polar Bears still have runners at second and third. No runs have crossed home plate. We'll see if Zwicker can get one more out here and get out of this early jam. And it's popped up over to the first base side, and that's going to be hauled in. So Otterbein, Allen able to make the catch over in foul territory on the first base line. So Otterbein gets out of trouble in the first inning. Nice job there by Zwicker to stay calm and keep her composure. She's able to get through inning number 1 without any damage. For Otterbein, it's going to be Laura Bassford, Maggie Zitch, and Erin Carpenter coming up to start the inning for Otterbein. We'll see if they can get some offense going against this Ohio Northern Polar Bear team.
Yeah, on the hill for Ohio Northern will be Abby Bensing, who on the year is the team's leading pitcher. She comes in. She has the only victory of the year for the Polar Bears, 1-3 record, a 4.67 ERA. She's pitched in 33 innings, 14 strikeouts compared to 22 bases on balls, so a little bit of control issues, but she is without a doubt the star pitcher for this orange and black attack. And leading off for Otterbein will be
Laura Bassford.
Laura Bassford, thank you, Harrison, who is on the season for Otterbein, batting .408. Last year, first team All-OC player, the junior from Maslin Jackson High School, the team's leading batter, with the only player on the team batting over .400.
Yeah, she is a very good player, plays a great center field, and she's done a great job at the plate as well for this Cardinals team. And we talked about Ohio Northern and their struggles, 1-9 coming into this game, and really a lot of that hinges on their pitching. Their pitching has not been strong. They have not been able to rely very much on their pitching. An ERA of 6.58 in their 10 games so far this season. So obviously that is the weak part of this team that they can really exploit. So Bassford will lead off for the Otterbein Cardinals, followed by left fielder Maggie Zitch and Erin Carpenter, the catcher, hitting third. So Bassford will dig in, and Ohio Northern will get to their positions, and we are ready to start the bottom of the first inning. 0-0 your score here at Wright Field in Westerville, Ohio. home of the Otterbein Cardinals. First pitch is taken low and away for ball number 1. Ohio Northern defense playing traditional. Not in, not deep. There's a strike right there delivered by Bensing to even the count at 1.
So we mentioned Bassford, just as a sophomore last year, named the All-AC team. She's one of the 3 Cardinals this year who's put the ball over the fence, batting .408 this year, which is in the top 5 in the conference.
Laura Bassford now ahead in the count 2-1 after Bensing delivers in the dirt. The pitch, and Bassford hammers that up the middle, and that's going to get all the way to the wall. Bassford rounds first, going to second, and she is into second with the leadoff double for the Otterbein Cardinals. A nice start for the Tannen Cardinal as Laura Bassford delivers a double to begin the first inning.
Yeah, Laura Bassford gets a hold of that one, sends it to center field. That's her 9th double of the year, by far the most on the team on the season in that category.
Come on, 5.
So Maggie Zitch now will step in. We'll see if she's bunting. She is not. She's going to go ahead and hit a ground ball. Bensing fields it, looks to third, instead goes to first and gets Zitch by a step. But the job is done, and Laura Bassford moves over to third base. So Zitch swinging away, not bunting, but she's still able to advance the runner. So 1 down, runner at third base, and Otterbein will try to do what Ohio Northern could not do in the top half of this inning, and that's get the runner from third in to score with less than 1 out.
Yeah, get the middle.
Aaron Carpenter, just one of 2 seniors on this Otterbein squad. She was a second-team All-OCC selection last year and is batting 349 on the season, a native of Birmingham, Alabama.
Bensing delivers a nice ball there on the corner, and Carpenter down in the count 0-1. Here's the pitch, and Carpenter hacks at a pitch well out of the strike zone, up around the letters, and count now goes to 0-2. So Aaron Carpenter in a hole, trying to put the ball in play here to get Bassford in from third base. Sac fly would work here. Ground ball up the middle would work as well. Carpenter calls time, steps out.
Hit it and drive. See it and drive it. Come on, 12. Get the middle.
Bensing delivers, and just a bit outside. It was a close pitch, but clearly a ball as it was off the corner of the plate. 1-2 the count now to Carpenter. And the Otterbein catcher digs in. Bensing delivers way high, and that brings the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Stay back. Get that middle. Here you go. Drive it.
Beautiful spring day here at Otterbein University. Bensing delivers, ground ball over to third base. Third baseman checks the runner, goes first, gets the out, now comes home. Bassford slides, and she is safe. Laura Bassford gets in, great base running by the Otterbein Cardinals, and right there, the Otterbein Cardinals showed exactly what they can do, and that's play small ball effectively. They got the runner on, they moved her over, and got her in. That's exactly how you want to score in the first inning. That's a great job by the top of this lineup to get that run in.
Yeah, get them on, get them over, get them in has always been the name of the game. Bassford, they're able to hold up. She's able to wait till she gets rid of it and able to race 40 feet home and able to slide in underneath the tag there. Good job to put the first run on the board for the Cardinals.
So the home team takes a 1-0 lead here in inning number 1. Allen now will step in for the Cardinals, and she's going to tap one down the third base line foul. So she will come back to a 1-1 count. And that was a really great job by Bassford as she waited for the third baseman to get rid of the ball. The third baseman did a nice job as well, fielding the ball, looking the runner back, and then going to first to get the out. But Bassford able to sneak by and touch home plate for that first run of the game. Bryn Allen now takes one in the dirt, 2-1 ahead in the count.
Allen, just a freshman from St. Francis de Sales, has the second highest batting average on the team on the year, hitting .385.
And that one's going to be right on the inside corner. Nice pitch there from Benzing. So Allen now with a 2-2 count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. And that pitch is taken outside for a ball. Runs the count full, 3-2 now to the cleanup hitter for the Otterbein Cardinals. Benzing delivers, and a swing and a miss by Allen, and that's a strikeout that will end inning number 1. So Benzing gets the strikeout, but not after she allows 1 run. It's Cardinals 1, Polar Bears 0 here at Otterbein University on Otterbein TV. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Home of the Otterbein Cardinals as Natalie Zwicker delivers the first pitch for ball number 1. Top of inning number 2, Otterbein leads 1-0 after Laura Bassford doubled and was brought around to score.
Otterbein fortunate to get out of that first inning unscathed, giving up a pair of 2 hits, sacrificed, got the runners over to second and third. Polar Bears unable to cross anyone over to home plate, though.
And this one's down the first base line, foul. So that'll be strike 1 here as the count now 2-1. Jamie Weston-Kirchner squares around a bunt, pulls back, takes a swing, and that's a ground ball up the middle. Fielded by Putoff, throws over to first. Nice play at short, and a nice stretch at first base. Brent Allen over at first base, making the nice stretch. And that was the shortstop for the Otterbein Cardinals, Rachel Putoff, making a nice play up the middle.
Yeah, good job by Putoff there. That's not an easy throw to make all the way across the field like that. Clean field right around second base and able to get it over to Allen, who had the good stretch to get the put out.
So nice job by the Otterbein defense. And Zwicker now will face the second hitter of this inning. That is Ann Dreyer, playing third base today for the Polar Bears.
Dreyer, a .256 batter on the year with 3 runs knocked in for the Polar Bears.
Pitch is taken low for ball number 1. Zwicker now toes the rubber. And this one's popped up. Carpenter may have a play. She does, and makes the catch. 2 away now in the top half of the second inning. Nice job by the Cardinals here, getting 2 quick outs. Now batting the designated player, Colleen Balaga. Not sure how exactly to pronounce that, David.
I would go with that as well, Harrison.
Balaga. Some of these names here on the Ohio Northern roster are giving us some
I'm not sure
a little bit of trouble.
what country a lot of these players come from, but a lot of extra vowels.
Strike there delivered by Zwicker. 2 outs, top of the second inning. And the 1-1 is taken high for ball 2. So Balaga, the designated player. Count now 3-1 after the ball in the dirt.
Come get her.
Balaga in the left-hand batter's box. Here's the 3-1 and taken inside for ball 4. So Zwicker
Nice shot.
with a 2-out walk here towards the bottom of the lineup. And that will bring up Michelle Sweet, the right fielder for the Polar Bears.
Rare to see control issues from Zwicker, as we mentioned. Very good strikeout to walk ratio on the year. Now stands at 14-3 after she got the strikeout in the first and then just issued the base on balls there.
First pitch taken for ball one, just below the knees. So a 2-out walk has Ohio Northern the runner on first. And that pitch is taken for a strike, throw it on to first. Balaga is back in time. 1-1 the count now to Michelle Sweet.
Come on, 9.
And Zwicker delivers. And that ball's grounded over to short, and an error right there by Putoff. So she made a great play earlier in this inning, but she's unable to come up with that hard ground ball right there. And now it's first and second for Ohio Northern. As we head back to the top of the order, Kristen Miller, left fielder, now steps in for her second at bat.
Miller reached her first time up with a bunt down the third baseline, able to beat out a throw from Otterbein.
Zwicker delivers outside, 1-0 now the count, and last couple of hitters here, Zwicker's fallen behind early in the count, and that does not typically bode well for pitchers. And ground ball to Elise Brigham. She's going to flip it over to second base, and they have the out. So 3 outs now, and we will now move to the bottom of the second inning. Brigham, a nice play up the middle, flips it to Putoff at second base, gets the force. And we will now move to the bottom of the second inning. Coming up for the Otterbein Cardinals will be Kristen Raymer, Brooke Albright, and Rachel Putoff. We'll be right back. Here on this beautiful spring afternoon, as Kristen Raymer digs in to start the bottom of the second inning. And Raymer takes for ball number 1. I'm Harrison Ralph along with David Kinder as we bring you the action of game 1 here between the Cardinals and the Polar Bears. OAC matchup. And Raymer's going to line this one right at the middle for a base hit into center field. So Kristen Raymer gets inning number 2, started off the right way with a base hit up the middle. Cardinals now with a base runner as Brooke Albright, the third baseman, will step to the plate.
Albright, one of the 3 seniors on this team we mentioned on the year. One of 4 Cardinals batting over 300, standing in today, 308 on the season.
And Raymer now stealing the throw down to second base, and she is out. Nice throw there by the catcher for Ohio Northern. That's Lottie behind the dish, throwing out Raymer at second base. So the leadoff base hit for the Cardinals is erased on the caught stealing.
Otterbein normally a pretty good stealing team on the year, 34 out of 40 successful tries on the year. Couldn't get a good jump there, though. Thrown out by a good throw.
Nice pitch by Benzing, taking a little bit off it. And Albright takes it for a strike, 0-2 the count. So the runner on first, no outs. We now 1 out, nobody on. And Albright behind in the count, now 1-2 after taking that last pitch upstairs. Here's a 1-2 offering, and that's lined into right field. Nice job of hitting there by Brooke Albright, as she's able to go the other way and take that outside pitch out to right field for a base knock. Nice job by the Cardinal third baseman. And we'll now have shortstop Rachel Putoff coming to the plate, number 14.
Putoff was one of the 4 Cardinals who won all conference honors last year. First team, a little fall off this year. Batting average has slipped down to just .231 on the year.
Putoff takes first pitch for a strike on the inside corner. She'll dig back in. Brooke Albright at first. And Albright bluffed a steal as Putoff faked the bunt, pulled back. I believe she actually went, so it's 0-2 now to put off. And a ground ball to short. It's going to be taken, steps on the bag for one, and that's going to be it for Ohio Northern. So put off grounds into a fielder's choice. 6 unassisted, and we now have 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Woodward will now dig in for the Cardinals as the designated player for Coach Steinis' team. Bensing delivers. And a stolen base attempt here by Albright, and she is safe as that throw got away from Lottie and sails into center field. So a runner in scoring position now for Otterbein here with 2 outs.
Otterbein shows
Woodward at the dish.
Otterbein shows, like they had all year, their 42nd attempt of the year. They're not afraid to steal bases, and that's one of their main tools to score is get them on, get them over, and try to get them in scoring position early in the count.
Second baseman at least bring him on deck if Woodward is able to reach. And that ball taken for a strike. So 2-2 your count to Woodward. Bensing looking to get out of this inning without any damage. Swinging a foul tip there. So Woodward stays alive, and she'll live to see another pitch. Cardinals scored 1 in the first and threatening to bring another across here in the second. The 2-2 swung on and lined right at the shortstop. Nice job, Kayla Woodward, great contact. However, it went right to the shortstop, and that's going to be out number 3. So after 2, the Cardinals lead 1-0 here at Reich Field at Otterbein University. 1-0 after 2 innings. We will begin the top of the third here as Natalie Zwicker goes to work for her 3rd inning. And batting now for the Polar Bears is Ashley Suchkowski, the shortstop who made a couple nice plays in the last half inning to retire the Otterbein Cardinals. And she waits back on this changeup, at least bring him under the pop fly, and she makes the catch. 1 down. Cardinals 1 pitch, 1 out. And Suchkowski pops it up to the second baseman, Elise Brigham, who makes the catch. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Pretty efficient. Natalie Zwicker on the mound for the Cardinals. Here's first pitch to Carly McKenzie's taken for a strike. 0-1 the count. And this one's popped up to center field. Laura Bassford camping under that one, and she's going to make the catch. So 3 pitches and 2 outs here for Zwicker. Looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning here. Kelly Sheridan now will dig in for Ohio Northern, trying to prolong this inning.
Sheridan, strikeout victim looking the last time up.
And that pop up over to left field, and Maggie Zitch is going to make that catch. So 4 pitches, 3 outs. Very quick 1-2-3 for Natalie Zwicker. And the Cardinals will get back in the dugout and back into the batter's box as Ohio Northern takes the field. That's quick.
Yeah.
Leading up, number 9 hitter. So 9-1-2 now due up for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Brigham, the junior second baseman, will step in to the left-hand batter's box. And Bensing looks in, and we are ready to start the bottom of the 3rd. Pitch on its way, and Brigham grounds it over to second base, a flip to first, and Brigham is retired 4-3.
We've seen 4 outs and 5 pitches here recently, Harrison. Not very patient at the plate are these batters for the Polar Bears and Cardinals, swinging on early pitches there.
It's there, you swing, and
right.
These pitchers are delivering strikes early in the count, and the hitters obviously don't want to fall behind, so they're attacking early in the count. Hasn't quite worked out for them yet. But these pitchers are doing a good job, Zwicker and Benzing, keeping the hitters at bay. The 1-0 to Bassford. And Bassford attempts the bunt, but comes up empty. Evens the count at 1-1.
Bassford opened up the game for the Cardinals with a leadoff double back in the first. That one to center field, able to get all the way to the wall before advancing to second base.
One the count. And the pitch is taken low for ball 2. Bassford climbs ahead in the count, 2-1. Bassford has been a staple to this Otterbein offense her entire career here. She's a junior. She's going to get hit by that pitch in the right hip there, and she'll take first base. So the Cardinals now have a base runner with 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. Cards lead 1-0. Maggie Zitch now will stand in for Otterbein. And Bassford bluffs the steal. Good thing she didn't go, because that was a good pitch to throw down to second there for the catcher, and would have been tough to steal that base. 1-0 now the count to Zitch. And she's going to bunt, fouls it off her foot, I believe, so it's going to be a dead ball. Takes the count to 1-1.
Zitch grounded out last time, but her ground out was able to move Bassford over to third, which in turn led to the only run of this game that we've seen, a ground out by Carpenter, a sacrifice that sent the only run to the plate.
And Zitch gets it down, this time over to first base. And they thought about going to second base. Instead, they go to first. She's safe at first, and Bassford, the heads up goes to third, and Zitch heads up goes to second base. And the Otterbein Cardinals, with some tremendous base running, now have runners at second and third with just 1 out for Aaron Carpenter.
Yeah, we've seen Bassford twice now. Great base running that time there. The heads up play to realize that they're not going to throw to second. And then after they do, she takes off and goes to third. Earlier, we saw her be able to tag up and hold up for the third baseman to throw over to first and score the game's only run. So we get a little timeout now, and a meeting in the circle between the Polar Bears and the Cardinals meet over on third base. But great base running by the Cardinals here early. It's led to their only run of the game, and it's set them up here with just 1 out to have runners in scoring position, as we'll see Carpenter, who has the RBI, step up to the plate.
Yeah, and you know, when you put speed on the bases with Laura Bassford, when you put speed on the bases, that creates a whole new element, because now the defense has a lot more pressure on them to field the ball quickly and get rid of it quickly. And right there you saw Bassford just being aggressive and taking third base, and Ohio Northern late to react, throws it over to third, and then heads up by Zitch to take second base. And the Cardinals now threatening to add to their 1-0 lead here as Carpenter steps up. Bassford at third and Zitch at second base. Just 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. Carpenter digs in, and Benzing is ready to deliver. Low and away for ball number 1.
See it and drive it. Here we go, Carp. Here we go, 12. Get the ball hard somewhere. Here we go, rip it.
And the senior catcher now digging in on 1-0. She's going to square around a bunt. Instead pulls back. And the count now moves to 2-0. I wouldn't be all that surprised if Ohio Northern pitched around Carpenter here to try to get a double play maybe from Allen. Ground ball over to first base. Carpenter is going to be tagged. And Carpenter did all she could there to avoid being tagged and drag that play on, try to get Bassford in from third, but she's unable to do so. So Bassford still at third, Zitch still at second, And it's going to be up to Bryn Allen now to bring in another run or two here for the Otterbein Cardinals, as there are now 2 outs in the inning.
That was a good play there, though, by the first baseman for the Polar Bears, resting Kirkin. Able to keep the runners from crossing the plate.
And a ground ball over right to the second baseman. Great contact, but unfortunately right at a Polar Bear, and it's gobbled up and thrown over to first base for out number 3. So the Otterbein Cardinals threaten again in the third, but cannot come up with any more runs. 1-0 your score. Otterbein leads here at Otterbein University. Back at right field, where the Ohio Northern Polar Bears will come to bat in the top of the 4th inning. Leading off the inning for Ohio Northern is their catcher, Amanda Lottie, the freshman. She threw out Kristen Raymer earlier in this game. Nice play from behind the plate. Good throw to second base, and was able to get the out. So the Cardinals strand runners at second and third last inning, and we'll see if Ohio Northern can take advantage of that and keep that momentum in their favor. Ball taken high from Zwicker.
The Westchester native Lottie 0 for 1 at the plate today. A pop-out victim her last time up to the second baseman.
Zwicker delivers for a strike at the top of the strike zone there. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 is fouled back. 1-2 the count now. Zwicker getting ahead of the freshman catcher. Be sure to stay tuned after this game. We do have game 2 coming up immediately after. And this ball has popped up in the infield. Somebody's got to call it, and Zwicker, it looked like the pitcher, Natalie Zwicker, called it, and she tried to make the catch. A little bit of confusion, miscommunication there, and Zwicker unable to haul that one in, so an error will get Ohio Northern on base to start the top of the 4th.
I'm not sure about softball, but I know normally in baseball, anytime there's an infield pop-out, coaches usually prefer the pitcher to back off from that one and allow one of the other 4 infielders to field it. Little confusion there to who should have called that one, though. Otterbein's second error of the game.
Now it's going to be Jamie Westen-Kirchner showing bunt, pulls back, and takes outside for ball 1. Westen-Kirchner again showing bunt, pulls back, takes for ball 2. 2-0 with a runner at first, no outs. And Natalie Zwicker and her Otterbein Cardinals are working into some trouble here in the 4th. Westen-Kirchner again showing bunt. She'll pull back, and she'll take again. This time, Zwicker delivers a strike. 2-1 now the count to the Ohio Northern first baseman. And this time she does put the bunt down. Carpenter fields, throws to first, Brigham covering, and they get the out at first. So sacrifice bunt there from the Polar Bear first baseman. And now a runner at second with 1 out for number 11, Ann Dreyer, who is playing third base today for the Polar Bears. And Dreyer's going to get a hold of that one, and that one is not coming back. And Dreyer hits a home run, a 2-run homer, and that's going to put Ohio Northern in the lead here in the top of the 4th inning. A absolute bomb right there from Ann Dreyer. And Otterbein now finds themselves down 2-1 here at home.
Yeah, that was a shot right there over the left field wall. The 5th home run of the year for the Polar Bears. Otterbein not one to give up home runs a lot this year, just the third all year that they have surrendered.
As Zwicker left that up in the zone a little bit, and Dreyer capitalized, putting that one off the bricks of the Clemens Center here at Otterbein University. So bases clear now, one out, and Zwicker will get back to work as she delivers outside for ball one.
Come on, 9.
Balaga, the designated player, at the dish now for the Polar Bears, 2-0, and Zwicker continues to fall behind hitters early in counts. And ball again taken outside, 3-0 now. The 3-0 delivery is taken for a strike, this time on the outside corner. Nice job receiving that pitch by Aaron Carpenter, giving the umpire a good look. 3-1. And this ball is fouled back. That'll run the count full. Zwicker trying to come all the way back from 3-0. 3-2, one out. Here in the top of inning number 4, where the Ohio Northern Polar Bears have taken the lead on a Ann Dreyer home run. Full count is smoked up the middle, put off. Nice job trying to corral that. Is unable to haul it in, but she does keep it in the infield. It's going to be a single for Balaga, and that was an absolute rocket shot up the middle. Great piece of hitting there, and Putoff made a sensational effort, however could not come up with it, and that'll be a base hit for the Polar Bears. Michelle Sweet now digs in for Ohio Northern. First pitch is taken for a strike. Throw down to first. Nothing doing.
Last time Sweet up, she reached first base via the Cardinals' first error of the game.
Takes this one low for ball number 1. And Zwicker ready to deliver the 1-1 high for ball number 2. 2-1 the count.
Come on, 9.
And this one's taken inside, 3-1. And again, David, Zwicker is falling behind to a lot of these Polar Bear hitters, and that is not a good recipe for success.
Yeah, it seems like she might have lost a little bit of her composure. Came out in the first 3 innings and was throwing strikes right across the plate. That home run seemed to have rattled her a little.
And this one's popped up in the infield. Brigham calling it, and she will haul it in for the out. So big out there for Zwicker and the Cardinals, as they now just need 1 out to get out of this inning that has kind of gotten away from them a little bit. I mean, if she throws a ball there and walks that last hitter, you got first and second, 1 out, and things really start to unfold a little bit. But Zwicker able to deliver a nice pitch there, get the pop up, and she's now back into control as she throws strike number 1 to Miller, the leadoff hitter for the Polar Bears. Pitch number 2 to Miller is taken outside. 1-1 the count.
Miller 1 for 2 today, reached on a single. Her first at bat of the game, opened the game up and grounded out in the second inning.
And this one's chopped up the middle. Zwicker gets a piece of it, and it's going to trickle into right field for a base hit. Looked like Brigham was probably going to be able to get to that ball and step on second for the third out of the inning. Zwicker caught a piece of it, though, and deflected it out towards right field, and that will extend the inning here for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, just your first reaction anytime you see the ball in the air, you're going to go after it. But had she had let that one pass her, the second baseman probably would have been there for the out. But can't blame them for anytime you see a ball, you're obviously first reaction is to go for it.
And that ball is taken in dirt for ball 1. 1-0 now the count. First and second here for Ohio Northern, who has already taken the lead here in this inning.
1 more, here we go.
on the 2-run home run by their third baseman. And check swing right here and fouled back. So count now moves to 1-1. This is the shortstop, Suchkowski, for the Polar Bears. And the pitch is delivered, fly ball out to right center, and that's going to be a home run. Wow, that ball really carried, and a 3-run home run for the Ohio Northern shortstop in this inning has become a nightmare here for Natalie Zwicker and the rest of the Otterbein Cardinals. A 3-run homer by the shortstop, and the Cardinals now trail 5-1. So this inning has quickly become one to forget for the Otterbein Cardinals as they now trail by 4.
Yeah, a little bit of a wind blowing out here at the ballpark, but I don't think the wind had anything to do with that home run. She got all of that one dead center field right over the 200 feet mark out there. A pitch high up and in, and she was able to turn on it.
That ball really carried there, David. It looked like a pretty routine pop-up at the onset, but that thing just kept carrying and ended up over the fence in center field. So we're going to get a pitching change here as Coach Steinis will go to the bullpen and bring in junior pitcher, number 23, Chelsea Burns.
This will be Chelsea's 8th appearance on the year, 2 decisions to her credit. She's a 1-1 pitcher with a 3.86 ERA on the year, struck out 2 and walked 2 as well. So Zwicker's day is over. Pitches 3 2/3. 4 of those runs of the 5 up on the board are to her credit. 1 was an unearned run. And she finished the day with 1 strikeout, 4 earned runs, and a pair of bases on balls. A day she'd probably like to forget after starting the first 3 innings on such a good streak.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it began there with that drop pop-up.
Yeah.
You know, that was the first play of the first hitter of this inning, and you know, she couldn't haul in that infield pop-up and never really got back in control of this inning. And Ohio Northern has hung a 5 spot so far here in the top of the 4th. So Burns will face Carly McKenzie and delivers a strike on the inside corner. And Burns delivers, and this ball is fouled over toward the Polar Bear dugout for strike number 2. So Burns coming right in and being aggressive, going right after McKenzie here with 2 straight fastballs. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Slows it down a little bit. Nice job by Albright to field the ground ball at third base. Delivers a strike over to first, and that puts an end to the 4th inning for the Polar Bears. However, they come up with 5 runs, a 2-run homer, a 3-run homer, and the Cardinals now trail by 4. We'll be back for the bottom of the 4th inning. And the first pitch of the bottom of the 4th inning is a strike to Kristen Raymer, who singled in her last at bat. She was then caught stealing. 0-1 the count to the Otterbein right fielder is taken high, so 1-1 the count now to Kristen Raymer, the junior outfielder. And she's gonna pull one down the first base side, fielded cleanly. 3 unassisted there for the out, and Raymer returns to the dugout. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Bensing now for Ohio Northern for the first time today, working with a lead, and a 4-run lead at that, after the explosive inning the Polar Bears had there in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, Bensing's really seemed to find her groove after allowing that first run on the sacrifice hit. She's now retired 3 in a row, all via the ground out. She's really seemed to find her groove here in the the bottom of the fourth. Important for the Cardinals, though, to try to get something going here after that detrimental fourth inning for them.
And pitch to Albright is taken inside. 1-1 the count. And again, this Ohio Northern team is a team, 1-9 coming into this game, and just not a team that you expected to have a 5-1 lead over the Cardinals here in inning number 4. However, that is the case, and they've played some pretty good ball. I mean, they've made, a lot of plays on defense, and they've made the routine plays, which is something that Otterbein has not quite done as well as Ohio Northern has today. Ground ball right to the second baseman, scoops it up, throws to first, and 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the fourth for Bensing.
It helps when you smash 2 of them over the fences too, Harrison.
It certainly does. But you think about it, though, that pop-up, Zwicker or one of the infielders catches that ball, that 3-run home run never happened.
That's an unearned error right there,
right.
Or unearned run, excuse me.
Right.
That should have ended the inning right there, but of course, or been closer to it anyways, but of course that run should have never happened.
Well, the 3-run home run happened with 2 outs. So if she had caught that
then you never get the 3-run homer.
Right, you never get the 3-run homer.
You're left just with a 2-1 deficit instead of the 5-1.
Exactly.
Which seems like a lot closer.
So the Cardinals will try to come back here as Putoff swings through that one. 2 outs, bottom 4. Benzing, like you said, Dave, really has found a groove out there, and she is cruising through this Otterbein lineup. And the Cardinals really, if they end up not being able to come back in this one, I mean, they missed some opportunities early in this game. They've had runners all over the base paths, but just have not been able to get them in.
Yeah, so far they've stranded 4 base runners already in this game. They've gotten them over, and they've even had a couple successful stolen base attempts, get them over into scoring position, but when the Cards need to get them in, they haven't been able to so far.
And the 2-strike pitch over to Putoff is smacked through the right side of the infield, and Putoff is on with her first hit of the day. So a nice job there to extend the inning. 2 outs, and Kayla Woodward will dig in for the Cardinals.
Woodward, a victim of a line out to the second baseman last time she was up.
Putoff's going to take off. Nice job there by the Otterbein shortstop as she saw the ball in the dirt. Squirts away from the catcher, and she's able to move up a base. So now, again, Otterbein has a runner in scoring position. It's just a matter of whether they can get her in or not. Woodward takes the fastball in the outer part of the plate for strike 1. 1-1 the count, 2 down here in the 4th inning as the Cardinals try to get back into this thing. Putoff gets a big lead off second base there, but gets back in time. And the Cardinals, I mean, they had a 1-run lead, and they really had all the momentum, and they kind of felt like they were the better team, but they were only winning by 1 run. It seemed like they were, much further ahead. They've had a lot more base runners than Ohio Northern, and then all of a sudden you get the 1 big inning, bang, bang, 2-run homer, 3-run homer, and now you're down by 4 with only a few innings left to play. It's a tough situation for the Otterbein Cardinals. That pitch is taken for a ball. Ohio Northern wanted it. You saw Benzing start trotting off the field as if that were going to be strike 3. But the umpire calls them back, and
late appeal there.
We'll have to do it again. Yeah, late appeal there. Yeah, I mean, how can you check, though, on that with you have the umpire on the, standing over by the shortstop? I don't know if you'd really have a better angle there. Ground ball over to short, fielded by, I'm going to mess this name up again, Suchkowski, and she throws over to first for out number 3. So the Cardinals, again, do not push anyone across home plate, and they still trail by 4. We'll be back for the start of the 5th inning next. 5-1 your score, top of the 5th, beginning right now here at right field, home of the Otterbein Cardinals softball team. And right now, bit of a surprise as they trail 5-1 to an Ohio Northern team that really has not had much success this season. Comes in at 1-9, and the Cardinals, I'm sure, would really regret a loss here to a team that has not had much success through the season so far.
The reigning Rookie of the Year, Sheridan, standing in, really struggled at the plate. Struck out looking, the only Polar Bear to strike out today, and then popped up in her second time at bat.
And Burns delivers, ground ball over to Albright at third, and she goes over to Allen for out number 1. Nice job there by Albright at third base. She's played well at the hot corner. And Chelsea Burns has come in and done a nice job here for the Cardinals through her short span of work here. She's gotten each batter she's faced and been very efficient in doing so. Delivers the first pitch for ball 1 high. And this is Amanda Lottie, the Polar Bear catcher. Burns delivers again high. 2-0 the count.
ONU's catcher, 0 for 1 today, popped out and then reached on an error in the 4th inning. Led to a run being scored when she was knocked in by that 2-run homer.
Burns delivers the 2-0, and that's in there for strike number 1. 2-1 the count. 1 down here in the top of the 5th.
1, 2, 3.
Nice job there by Burns, taking a little off that one and putting it right there in the strike zone. Nice pitch from Chelsea Burns. 2-2 the count, 1 down for ONU. And Burns delivers, ground ball to second base. Brigham fields cleanly, flips to first, and 2 down here in the top of the 5th. Nice play by Elise Brigham over to second base. Chelsea Burns really in a groove right now. The junior pitcher throwing strikes efficiently and getting outs quickly, keeping Otterbein in this game.
Yeah, the Marysville native came in in that last inning after Otterbein had just surrendered 5 runs, 2 homers. And she's come in and really settled this Otterbein Cardinal team down a little bit. She's found a groove. She retired the last batter for that 3rd out in the 4th inning and has made quick work of her first 2 batters here in the top of the 5th.
Jamie Weston Kirchner now will step in for Ohio Northern.
Weston
Takes the
Kirchner
second pitch for a ball low and away, 1-1 the count.
has grounded out both times at the plate today.
Burns winds up, delivers, and this ball is a weak pop up over to third base. Albright takes care of it, and the Otterbein Cardinals come back into the dugout. It's getting late here for Otterbein. They're going to have to start putting something together and start getting some runs across the plate, as it's going to be Brigham, Bassford, and Zitch when we return. The second baseman, Elise Brigham, will try to get things going here for the Otterbein Cardinals in inning number 5. It's getting late here, and the Cardinals need to start putting base runners on and moving them around to score. We'll see if Brigham can get the Cardinals going here in the 5th. He's going to take pitch number 1 for a ball below the knees. So Brigham up in the count, 1-0. And Brigham takes again for a ball, 2-0. Nice job by Brigham here, getting ahead in the count, taking 2 pitches right on the fringe of the strike zone. Be big for the Cardinals if Brigham can get on for the top of that lineup. And she takes pitch number 3, low and in, so 3 consecutive balls thrown by Bensing to the number 9 hitter, Elise Brigham. I would assume she'll be taking this pitch. 3-0 from Bensing is taken for ball 4, so Brigham draws a walk to begin the 5th inning, and that's big for the Cardinals. Nice job by Brigham laying off and getting on base for the top of the order. Laura Bassford now steps to the plate.
Yeah, Otterbein's really not been able to find out Bensing all day since that first inning when they were able to sacrifice a run across. That's the first time a Cardinals reached base on balls, but a good eye there by Brigham able to watch 4 pitches whiz by and take her base 40 feet away.
And that ball is delivered low and away, so 5 pitches thrown by Bensing here in the 5th. All 5 have been outside of the strike zone. Somewhat concerning for ONU. Bensing now delivers and gets this one across for a strike. Bassford, in an attempt to bunt, fouls it back.
Bassford's reached both times at the dish today. A double opened up the game for the Cardinals, and then in the 3rd inning, hit by a pitch in the back.
She's also done some phenomenal base running.
That she
as well.
has.
And Bassford crushes this one down the line, and they're going to call it foul. Wow, that was
close.
I thought I saw some chalk fly up.
We're gonna get a little argument here.
I mean, I saw white chalk fly up.
Yeah, it looked
David?
like chalk came up for sure to me, and that would have scored a Cardinal for sure, because by the time the official hands were up in the air, the runner was already at second base, and that ball was going towards the fence. That would have scored a runner for sure.
That's a rough call right there. Ball low and away, taken by Bassford. 2-2, no outs. Brigham at first base for Otterbein. Bassford at the plate. Yeah, David, that would have been an RBI triple right there if that had been called fair. Bassford up the middle. Nice job by Bensing to catch it, and she goes to second for the fielder's choice. Bassford hit that ball hard, but Bensing, I think, got a little lucky there as the ball kind of found her glove instead of her glove finding the ball. But either way, it's an out. Fielder's choice. 1-6. And Brigham will head back to the dugout as she's forced out at second base. Bassford now replaces Brigham at first base. 1 out here for the Cardinals. Maggie Zitch now takes the plate. Yeah, that call could end up being a big one in this game.
Yeah, there's been a lot of things the Cardinals are going to, if they end up losing this one, looking back at for the reasons for not coming up victorious. You can't put your success all on one play, but that ball definitely looked to be in play there, and definitely for sure would have scored a runner, a triple, but the blue behind the plate sees it otherwise.
I mean, we have just about as good of a view from where we're sitting
Right down
as
the
anyone.
line, pretty much.
And I saw chalk fly up, but Bassford was going on the pitch. Zitch fouls it back, and she will return to first base. 2-1 to count to number 5, the left fielder, Maggie Zitch.
Come on, 5.
Bensing gets the sign, winds up, and delivers. Bassford going on the pitch, ball in the dirt. Really no chance for the catcher to throw out Bassford on that pitch, so
Here we go.
Bassford picks up a stolen base, and her tremendous base running continues. She's now in scoring position.
Otterbein 36 of 42 on the year in stolen base attempts.
3-1 the count to Zitch. Gets a pitch to hit, slaps it the other way to short, and a bad throw over to first base, and Zitch rounds first. Bassford's going to score. 1 run is in. Zitch will go to second base, so nice job there by the Cardinals. And they pick up a run to get one back. Now the deficit is 3. And Aaron Carpenter now will step to the plate.
They had the hit and run on there. Bassford was going as soon as the pitch thrown. The ball found an opening. Shortstop couldn't make the throw all the way over.
Yeah, Zitch just really just slapped at it and just poked it the other way. And was able to beat out the throw, a bad throw from the shortstop. And now Aaron Carpenter comes up with another chance with runners in scoring position. First pitch taken on the outside corner for strike 1.
You know, we mentioned the Cardinals' base running's been very successful today, and it's because of that base running they were able to score that run. If it wasn't for the stolen base by Bassford just a little bit before that, that run's not scoring or in the air.
0-1 pitch from Bensing is in the dirt for ball number 1, taking the count 2-1-1.
Get the middle.
1 out, and
Chin down. Get the middle.
Carpenter another chance with a runner in scoring position. Her last at bat had second and third with 1 out. Could not get a runner in. We'll see if she can come up with a different result here. Swings and fouls one back. now behind in the count 1-2. Cardinals trail by 3, bottom 5th inning. 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Aaron Carpenter, one of the few seniors on this Otterbein team.
Drive it somewhere. Let's go.
Benzing, the starting pitcher for ONU, still in the game, delivers ball high. Delayed steal there by Maggie Zitch, and she is safe. So the Cardinals continue their aggressive base running, and it pays off this time as Maggie Zitch gets into third base here with less than 2 outs. So a sac fly or ground ball up the middle should result in a run for Otterbein.
Coach Burke going to come out, try to settle down her pitcher. I doubt she'll take her out of the game yet without anyone warmed up yet, but great base running there by the Cardinals, able to catch Benzing napping after she caught the pitch from the catcher. Now Otterbein's able to take third.
ONU does have action in the bullpen. So Benzing has really thrown well today, just allowing the 1 run through so far 4 1/3.
Come on, 12. Hands to the ball. Here you go, short to long. Rip it. Get the middle.
Big at bat here for Otterbein and their hopes to get back into this thing, down 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. The 2-2 to Carpenter is swung on and grounded to first. Carpenter is going to be tagged out, but Zitch comes home and scores. So nice job by the Cardinals there to manufacture that run, and Carpenter has her 2nd RBI of the afternoon.
Yeah, not always a base hit is not always what you need. Obviously want to try to knock it in the outfield whenever you can, but a ground out there just equally as effective, able to bring the runner home from third. And as you said, Carpenter has both the Cardinals RBI on the day as the other run unearned.
So with 2 outs, Allen takes the first pitch for a strike. And really, you know, without the aggressive base running by the Cardinals, Zitch would be at third base right now instead of, you know, scoring, but she gets to third on the delayed steal and comes in on the ground out by Carpenter.
Not to mention the steal by Bassford earlier, which led to the score on the throwing error to first base.
And Allen's going to hit a sharp ground ball to second. A little bobble there, but able to get it over to first in time is Ohio Northern, and they retire the side. So 5-3 your score. Otterbein gets 2 back in the bottom of the 5th. We now head to the 6th here on Otterbein TV. We'll be back. To the 6th inning we go here at right field at Otterbein University as the Cardinals trail 5-3 to the Ohio Northern Polar Bears in Game 1 of this afternoon's doubleheader. Chelsea Burns starts her 3rd inning of work here as she toes the rubber, delivers first pitch high to Ann Dreyer, who in her last at-bat got Ohio Northern on the board with a 2-run homer. That was back in the 5th inning, started the scoring for Ohio Northern. And she really got all of that one. That was off the starting pitcher, Natalie Zwicker.
Yeah, Burns came in relief of Zwicker in that 4th inning, and she's done tremendous work since then, retiring all 4 batters she's faced.
Two won the count to Dreyer. And this ball is high. Dreyer wisely lays off, and now she has the count in her favor, 3-1.
1, 2, 3.
And this ball is hacked out of play. Full count now, 3-2. Cardinals trail by 2 to an Ohio Northern team that has only won 1 out of their 10 games this season. Burns delivers low and walks Dreyer, the leadoff batter here in the 6th. So 1 on now for ONU. None out. Cardinals now adjusting to double play depth. Albright takes a few steps in case of the bunt. We'll see what ONU decides to do here. Strike delivered by Burns. Oh, 1 the count. Burns winds and delivers. This ball is chopped foul. So Burns now way ahead in the count, 0-2. Ahead of Colleen Balaga.
Balaga reached on bases on balls back in the first inning, and in the fourth, where they scored all 5 of their runs, had a base hit.
Burns delivers, and this one is lunged at, but fouled off. Nice job staying alive there by the ONU hitter. Chelsea Burns trying to pick up a strikeout here or get a ground ball and maybe turn double play. And there it is, a ground ball over to Brigham. She's going to go to put off for 1 and over to Allen, and not in time. So the Cardinals get 1 out there as Brigham goes to put off 4-6 for the fielder's choice. So 1 out here for Ohio Northern in there, half the 6th.
1, 2, 3.
So nice turn there by Brigham and put off, just not quite in time, as that ball is scorched over off the facing of the ONU dugout. It's a good thing that fence is there.
Yeah.
That ball was smoked. So Burns now winds up and delivers this ball grounded over to third. Albright, nice backhand play, gets it to second base. Brigham turns, but again, not in time at first base. Nice play there by Albright as she picks up the backhand and gets it over to second base to Brigham, who again tries to turn a double play just a little bit late, but good defense here in the last 2 plays for Otterbein. And they're now 2 away here in the 6th. So after a leadoff walk, Burns has induced a couple of ground balls that have resulted in fielder's choice each time. And now 2 outs, a runner at first, 1-0 the count. And we are now back at the top of the order with Miller, the left fielder, hitting for the Polar Bears.
Whoa!
Yeah,
and that pitch called a ball, but
call not well liked by the Cardinal faithful here.
no, not a popular call here at the home of the Cardinals. But 2-0 the count, and this one is high for ball number 3.
Miller 2 for 3 at the plate today, a pair of singles and a ground out back in the 2nd inning.
The 3-0 to Miller is taken for a strike, so Burns gets back into this count with a strike on the outer edge. 2 away here in the top of the 6th. Runner at first base, 3-1 the count, and Burns now delivers. Miller attempts to bunt 3-1. Not something you're going to see a whole lot of, but comes up empty, and now 3-2 with 2 outs. The runner will be going on the pitch. The 3-2 is chopped just past Burns. Albright makes a nice play. Now has a runner caught up between second and third. Over to put off. She's going to run her back to second. Brigham hauls it in, runs the runner back, and makes the tag. And Elise Brigham runs down the runner and makes the tag for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Otterbein Cardinals get back into the dugout, back up to the plate, down 2. Heading to the bottom of the 6th, it's Otterbein 3, Ohio Northern 5. Back at Otterbein, where the Cardinals trail by 2, 5-3 is your score. Bottom of the 6th inning, Kristen Raymer will lead off for the Cardinals, trying to get something going and at least get this game tied back up. Cardinals have 6 outs to work with here. as we are in the bottom of the 6th inning. Raymer down in the count already 0-1. Bensing still on the mound for ONU. Second pitch of the inning is taken below the knees for a ball. 1-1 the count to the Otterbein right fielder.
Raymer had a single back in the first, then was caught trying to steal second and grounded out her last time at bat in the fourth.
Bensing again delivers low in the dirt this time. 2-1 the count. All of the damage was done to the Cardinals in that 5th inning when ONU belted 2 home runs, one a 2-run shot and the second a 3-run shot, and that ball was outside. The umpire actually rung her up, but it was only the second strike. So that
touch embarrassing, perhaps.
That's the. Oh boy. Bensing delivers now outside and low for ball number 3. So 3-2 the count.
That being said, I'm not even so sure that was a strike. It looked
Right,
a little like an outside of a pitch too.
Yeah, it looked high, it looked outside, and it definitely was not.
It was still not even strike 3.
Anyways, 3-2 full count delivered to Raymer, and now, okay, that's going to be a walk.
I'm not sure if he's trying to make up for making poor Raymer feel bad, thinking she had a called strike 3 there by giving her the walk, but that looked like the best pitch of the at-bat. Let me change my backwards K to a bases on balls in my scorebook.
Yeah, that looked like much more of a strike than that.
We'll take it, though. Maybe this is the rally the Cardinals need to start the 6th inning for them.
So Raymer begins the inning getting on by a walk, a bunt here by Albright, and Raymer moves up to second. Albright out at first.
Beautiful sacrifice there, though.
Right, so Albright gets the job done, gets Raymer to second base, and now the Cardinals have a couple opportunities to knock this run in.
Put off.
Go ahead, Dave.
She, coming to the bat, has reached both times. First time on a fielder's choice and then stole second. And then the other time on a single to the right field.
Bensing, the pitcher that started the game for ONU, still on the mound for the Polar Bears. This ball taken low, 2-0 the count, and Bensing is beginning to fall behind hitters.
All right, now get your pitch.
As you mentioned earlier, there is action down in that pin over the right field wall for the Polar Bears.
Raymer at second base, put off at the dish. Raymer stealing, put off swings through, and Raymer is safe at third base. So Kristen Raymer with the stolen base now moves up 40 feet, so she's just 40 feet away from home plate. We'll see if Putoff can bring her around.
More great base running there.
Yeah, make this a one-run game.
She realizes no one's holding on at that third base bag as they're just playing for the bunt.
And Putoff tried to get that one down, but unable to do so. 2-1 now. The counter 2-2, excuse me. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The Otterbein Cardinals trail by 2, but they do have a runner at the corner, third base right now. And that's going to be strike 3. Putoff takes fastball on the inside part of the plate for strike number 3. 2 outs now for the Cardinals.
Come on, Deuces!
And you really hope Kayla Woodward can come through here.
She's due today, 0 for 2, a line out in the first and a ground out in the fourth.
And Bensing gets the call there. And Woodward
Come on, Deuces!
starts behind in the count, 0-1.
See it and drive it.
And Woodward waits back on that off-speed pitch and fouls it off. So Bensing now in complete control of this at-bat. 0-2 to count, 2 outs. And the potential of Otterbein stranding another runner at third base is becoming more and more likely. This ball's taken low for ball number 1. Bensing had some trouble in the first couple innings, but since has really come back and solidified her job here. And a base hit by Kayla Woodward. There it is. You said it, Dave. She was due, and she comes through big right there for the Otterbein Cardinals with an RBI base hit right back up the middle. And Kristen Raymer comes across to score the 4th run of the game for the Otterbein Cardinals. And now that once 4-run lead for the ONU Polar Bears is now down to just 1.
Yeah, as you said, Woodward, the 261 batter on the year, 0 for 2 today, gets a nice piece of hitting there, hits it right back up the middle, underneath the legs of the pitcher, over the second base bag, and able to drive in the run for the Cardinals to cut this lead. And Otterbein, great base running and great small ball, has cut this deficit to a 1-run lead.
Elise Brigham, who walked on 4 pitches in her last at-bat, began that 5th inning. Comes up to the plate here for the Cardinals with 2 outs. And she's going to take again, so 2-0. Brigham, the last 6 pitches she's seen have all been out of the strike zone. And a mound visit coming here for ONU.
Probably just trying to calm our pitcher down here. Doubt they'll yank her here. Or just perhaps give the pitcher in the pen a little more time to warm up.
Yeah, it's not very usual that you see pitching change in the middle of a count, but so we are ready to get back to it here as Bensing toes the rubber. Brigham steps in with a 2-0 count, and Bensing delivers. Brigham takes on the outside corner then for a strike. 2-1 the count. 2 outs, 1 run in, 1 runner still on the base paths for Otterbein here in the bottom of the 6th. And Brigham's going to chop this one over to second base, scooped up and flipped over to first base for the 3rd out of the inning. The Cardinals get 1 and they come within 1. Cardinals down 5-4 as we head to the final inning of play here in Game 1 of this afternoon's doubleheader between Otterbein and Ohio Northern. We'll be right back. We start the final inning of play here at right field in Game 1 of this afternoon's doubleheader. Chelsea Burns still on the hill for Otterbein. Actually, it's not on the hill.
Is it still
There's
a
no
hill?
hill in softball, but
the circle.
she's pitching for Otterbein. She's done a great job keeping Otterbein in this game, not allowing any runs after Zwicker gave up those 2 home runs in the 5th inning. Burns has come in and held the Polar Bears right at 5. Has been very efficient in getting these Polar Bears out and getting her team back up to the plate. So Cardinals bring it within make this game a 1-run game last inning by bringing Kristen Raymer around to score. A big base hit coming off the bat of Kayla Woodward as she knocked one up the middle and brought Raymer in from third base with 2 outs. So 5-4 your score, and looks to be a fun ending to this game. Burns delivers, and that one's fouled away. Out of play, so 2-2 the count. The 2-2 is taken in the dirt for a ball, so the count runs full at 3-2. No outs here in the top of the 7th.
Come get her, 2-3.
Ashley Sichkowski, who hit the big 3-run home run at the dish. The full count is tapped back, and we'll do it all over again. But Sichkowski, she is the shortstop, and she had the 3-run blast that gave the Polar Bears their 3 runs. Ultimately got them to 5 and knocked Natalie Zwicker out of the game. The full count pitch is low, so Sichkowski finds his way on to first base here to lead off the top of the 7th inning. Not what you want if you're Otterbein, but we'll see if Chelsea Burns can work out of it.
Come on, defense.
Carly McKenzie now to the plate for the Polar Bears. And we're going to get a bunt here. That ball is foul. So Carpenter will flip it back to Burns, and we'll do it again. 0-1 the count. Sujkowski, the shortstop, over at first base for the Polar Bears, and McKenzie at the plate.
McKenzie 0 for today. A pair of ground outs and a pop out to the second baseman in the third.
Albright playing in over at third, expecting the bunt. No sign of bunt there for McKenzie, and she takes a strike. So now an 0-2 count. I would not expect a bunt anymore with 2 strikes, but we'll see what McKenzie does here, down 0-2. Burns in the dirt. Sujkowski's going to take off and go to second. Carpenter was unable to find the ball. Not her fault. A good block by Carpenter behind the plate. Just couldn't come up with it cleanly, and Sujkowski takes advantage of it and moves up to second base. So the job really is done. McKenzie was up there bunting with Sujkowski over at first. He's trying to get the runner over to second base, and that runner is now at second base, so we'll see what McKenzie does here. And she's going to line this one into right, a solid base hit, and Sujkowski's going to come around and she's going to score. And the Polar Bears get that run back and now lead by 2 here in the final inning of, well, could go into extra innings, so I guess I should stop saying the final inning, but Ohio Northern takes a 2-run lead here in the 7th. And now Otterbein will have to score at least 2 in the bottom half of this inning to keep this thing going. Nice hit there by McKenzie. It's a good job of going with the pitch and lining it into right field.
And the first bit of struggles we see from Burns in the circle today, too. She seemed to have had the ONU Polar Bears on lockdown, but that pitch right there slapped the other way to right field.
Well, Iron Northern's done a nice job. Their hitters, the first time through the order against Zwicker and now against Burns, didn't do all that well. But the second time that they've come through, they've learned from their previous at-bats, and they've come through and done a pretty good job. This ball is skied to left and caught by Zitch for out number 1, I believe. So a double play now will get the Cardinals back on offense. See if Burns can get a double play ball here. (6-4) Polar Bears here in the top of the 7th. The catcher Lotte now steps into the box for ONU. Ball in the dirt. Taken for ball number 1. The 1-0 now is a strike on the inside part of the plate. Nice pitch there by Burns.
Come on, 2-3.
The 1-1 delivery is taken again for a strike, 1-2. Burns took a little off that pitch and was able to deliver it on the inside part of the strike zone for strike number 2. 1-2 the count now, 1 out here in the 7th. And that pitch is right in the outside corner. Chelsea Burns, that was a devastating sequence of pitches there. And Burns gets the strikeout. Nice job there by the junior pitcher. That was nice. She came in with the heat and then slowed it down a little bit and then came with the heat again and kept the hitter quite off balance there. This pitch is taken inside by Jamie Weston Kirchner. And the pitch is lined over under the glove of shortstop Rachel Putoff and into left field for a base hit. First and second now for the Polar Bears. As Ann Dreyer now will step up, and we know she's got some pop in that bat. As we saw, she got the scoring started for ONU with the 2-run blast to left center field back in the 5th. Burns certainly needs to be careful here. Try to keep the margin at 2, 6-4 the score now, and Otterbein going to have to get to it at least 2 runs in the bottom half of this inning to keep this thing going.
Burns really pitched around her last time, issuing that 4-pitch walk. You know, someone with so much power in their bat, you don't really want to throw right down the plate to them.
And this one is lined up the middle on the ground. Bassford comes home, overthrows Carpenter, but Burns heads up, able to back up the throw, and the bases will be loaded station to station here for Ohio Northern. They have the bases loaded, and now Balaga is going to come up for ONU.
Looked like that one might have nicked the runner a little bit. I'm sure she jumped out of the way, but it looked like it hit off the bottom of her foot, I thought.
I thought it hit something.
Which is runner interference, if I'm not
I thought it was just me. I thought I mistakenly saw that.
I thought it hit off her foot, which would be an out, right? I'm pretty sure.
I know in baseball.
In baseball it's an out.
Yeah. I mean, it may have hit.
Maybe a rock, because it took a turn of direction.
It did.
But it looked like it hit off her foot when she was running.
That was odd. And this one is a ground ball to put off, and she can't make the play. That's going to lead to another run. And the defense for Otterbein again falters, and this time leads to a run. 7-4 now your score. Otterbein trailing by 3 at home against Ohio Northern in game 1 of the doubleheader.
Yeah, Burns really getting roughed up now after that strikeout. She's issued 3 consecutive singles that went through the infield. That one there.
That's an error right there.
You're going to count that as an error?
That's an error, yeah.
That goes down as an error? Nonetheless, the run still crosses the plate.
First pitch is a strike. A ball in the outer part of the plate. It looked good from here, but the umpire is certainly closer. And that one's in there for a strike as Burns evens the count at 1. 2 outs, 2 runs in here for Ohio Northern after Otterbein had captured the momentum, bringing it within a 1-run game, but ONU has come back and scored 2 here in the 7th to bring us where we stand now, 7-4. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 7th. Bases loaded, full of polar bears. Chelsea Burns trying to escape without allowing any more damage. Ball high. So 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Three-run deficit facing the Cardinals. Comebacker right to Burns, and she throws over to first base. Allen hauls it in with her foot on the base, and that retires the side. So Otterbein down 3. They have the top part of the order coming up. Laura Bassford, Maggie Zich, and Aaron Carpenter will begin things for Otterbein in the 7th inning. They need 3 to tie, 4 to win. We'll be back on Otterbein TV. We begin the bottom of the 7th with a strike from Bensing to Laura Bassford, the leadoff hitter for the Cardinals. Bensing was the starting pitcher for Ohio Northern. Bassford puts a bunt down, and she is safe. With the speed and the placement of that bunt, there was no way Bassford was going to be thrown out. So Bassford reaches. I was saying before that play there that Bensing is the original starter for Ohio Northern. She's looking for a complete game here as her team holds a 3-run lead over the home team, Otterbein Cardinals. Bassford at first base, no outs. Maggie Zich now to the plate. I'd be surprised to see Bassford try to steal here, as Otterbein really just needs base runners.
Come on, 5.
Zich with no outs, no balls, 1 strike, and she tries to bunt, but she tips it back, and That'll be strike two. 0-2 now the count. To the Otterbein left fielder, Bassford at first base. Cardinals need 3 to keep this thing going. The 0-2 is taken for a ball. Aaron Carpenter in the on-deck circle. Bassford at first. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that's taken low for a ball. Bassford gets back to first. Nice job there by ONU to keep the speedy outfielder close to the bag over there at first. The 2-2 to Zich is taken for strike 3, and that is out number 1 here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. So Bensing still getting strikeouts here in the final inning, or what would seem to be the final inning. 7-4. Cards trail by 3. They have a base runner. Aaron Carpenter now up.
Middle of the ball. Here it goes. See it and drive it.
And Carpenter takes outside. Ball number 1 ahead in the count. Following Carpenter, Allen, Raymer, and Albright would come to the plate for the Cardinals. And Carpenter grounds one off the glove of the second baseman. Bassford is going to get all the way to third, so Carpenter gets a hard ground ball through the right side. And now the Cardinals have runners at first and third as the tying run comes to the plate, and that's Bryn Allen.
The Cards had the hit and run on there, and it worked out exactly as they wanted it. Got the hit to the first base side, allowing the runner to advance all the way to third. Now Otterbein has runners on the corner. Allen due for a hit here, 0 for 3 today. A strikeout and 2 ground outs.
Stein is looking to make a change here. I think it's going to be pinch runner. Or maybe not. Steinitz and the umpire were looking over their lineup cards. I was expecting a change, but that is not the case. 7-4. Cardinals bring the tying run to the plate. One down in the bottom of the 7th. Bensing delivers low for ball number 1. Allen ahead in the count. 1-0. And that one's a strike to Allen. It was 5-2 Ohio Northern heading into the 6th inning. After blanking the Polar Bears, Otterbein scored 2 runs, brought it to a 5-4 game, but then Ohio Northern got those 2 runs back in the top half of the 7th, and now lead by 3. Allen laces a single up to right field, and Carpenter gets into second base. So a run crosses the plate, and another runner reaches for Otterbein, and they are putting something together here. 7-5 now the score. Otterbein trails by 2. The tying run is at first base, and the winning run is now represented at home plate as Kristen Raymer steps up to the dish. Great piece of hitting by Allen. Taking the pitch the other way and driving the ball into right field for an RBI single. 7-5 now the score, 1 out. And Kristen Raymer. Bensing still in for ONU.
Good eye. Come on, 1-7, it's all you.
Last time up, the Waterville native got the walk on that call from the umpire that looked like it was a called third strike after he had rang her up on just 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was kind of a wacky at bat. Raymer check swings. I believe she went. She did. Count even at 1.
Come on, 1-7.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Allen at first base representing the tying run. Raymer at the plate representing the winning run. And Raymer again checks her swing. I think that was a strike anyways.
Come on, 1-7.
1-2 now the count. Raymer behind Bensing. And Steinitz gets clarification. That was a called strike. She was asking if that was a swing or not. The umpire said no, it was a called strike. So there's the answer to that. And the 1-2 now coming from Bensing. And she is rung up. Raymer takes a called third strike. So both outs this inning have been called third strikes. One to Zitch and one to Raymer. And the fate of this game rests now on the shoulders of Brooke Albright as she will try to continue this game. Cardinals trail 7-5. 2 outs here in the 7th. Bryn Allen at first base. Aaron Carpenter at second base. Albright swings. Dribbles one down the first baseline. Fortunately for the Cardinals, it hops foul.
Come on, 1-5.
Albright digs in. Here comes the 0-1. Taken inside.
Come on, 1-5, you got this.
7-5 your score. Otterbein trails by 2. 2 outs here in the 7th. 1-1 the count. 2 runners on. Albright swings through that pitch. And ONU is 1 strike away from taking game 1 of this afternoon's doubleheader.
Get a good one.
Bensing delivers, and Albright gets a piece, hangs in there. Carpenter at second for Otterbein, Allen at first. Albright down on the count, 1-2, 2 outs. Bensing looking for the complete game win. Again, Albright stays alive, fouls it off.
You got it. See it and drive it, bro.
The 1-2 delivery is swung on, grounded to short. She's going to go ahead and take it to third. It's going to be 6 unassisted, and this game is over. The Ohio Northern Polar Bears take game 1 of this doubleheader and get their second win of the season, now 2-9. Otterbein suffers the loss, and they will try to get ready to go ahead and get game 2 and see if they can even this thing out before the day is over. We will have an interview with the head coach of Otterbein softball. Coach Steinitz will join us after this short break. I'm Harrison Ralph, David Kinder for Otterbein TV. We'll be right back.